Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. We do this every week to give you an update and a real-time view of what is going on, growing, blooming, and thriving here at the nursery in Dallas, North Carolina, Zone 7B. So, not going to see you before July 4th, so this is my happy July 4th to everyone out there. Have a fabulous day, stay safe, eat lots of barbecue, do lots of fun swimming. A couple people have asked about our hours for the week of July 4th. Because July 4th this year is on a Tuesday, that is a day that we are already closed. We will be, all of our employees are staying home that day, so we're going to be celebrating. It's not going to affect our nursery hours this week. So we're still going to be open Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 3, normal operating hours here at the nursery, even though it's the week of July 4th. So come see us. We would love for you to come visit and get some gorgeous plants. Going to walk through and just talk about some fun things happening at the garden center. We're standing here at one of the displays right before we go into the greenhouse, and I cannot help but I have to show these to you. And forgive me, I'm going to use my sunglasses because it is like high noon today and the sun is bright. These sedums are absolutely gorgeous. The other week, we talked about you know, perennials that you could plant in the hot weather. Sedums are absolutely one of those plants. This is the Rock and Grow Back in Black, a beautiful, nearly black sedum that is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 9, loves the worse soil you can give it, the happier it is. It hates to have fertilizer, not even biotone, but this is something that you can plant in your garden to give you great interest. Cece has it paired here with some Shasta daisies and some Monarda, but you get beautiful foliage year round, and then you get late summer, early fall flowers. This one is going to do red centers and cream petals, so there you go. This is a great plant that loves it hot, dry, neglected, paired with like marshmallow Shasta daisies. We've got Monardas right here. This is the upscale lavender taffeta. Gorgeous perennials that will just give you really a lot of seasons worth of color right here. So don't forget about your sedums. I will be planting some of these up at the chicken coop because that's not going to be on irrigation, and heaven knows it is hot up there. Speaking of hot, we're going to kind of come in and go out real quick at the greenhouse because even though we've got the sides open and the fans are going, it is hot in here. So we're just going to hit some things really quickly because the petunias are back. We had some people, I think last week, and they're like, Jerry, where are your super petunias? Well, we cut them back, had taken them up to production, let them flush back out, and here they are again, ready to go. Because remember, your flowering annuals, the vast majority of them, I can't think of any one, they love to be trimmed back. If they get too leggy, trim them back, and they will flush back out again. So we have, of course, one of my absolute favorites, the Super Petunia Mini Vista Indigo. I have this in the landscape. I have it in containers. It is an amazing petunia. Remember the Mini Vistas, they still spread, but they're not as vigorous as your Vistas. The brand new yellow, it is doing great in the berm and in the back of the house. Of course, the Pink Star is a beautiful kind of a creamy white with those pink stripes in it. The brand new Midnight, really dark colors on that one. So if you're looking for a beautiful contrast, then of course you can go with the Mini Vista White. This might be my absolute favorite petunia, maybe. And then the hot pink, and we've got Lovey Dovey, Picasso in purple, your Raspberry Rush, your Bordeaux. The Bordeaux is looking fantastic. Look at those nice big open petals, beautiful kind of a bicolor. And then of course we will go into the Vistas with the bubblegums and the silverberries and the snowdrift. So with that being said, we're going to come out of the greenhouse because like I said, it is really hot. What loves the heat and is doing really well are verbenas. Verbenas do love the heat, but they also like the moisture. So you're going to want to put these where you can get them some good consistent water, but they have beautiful, like really cheery colors, right? So you've got rich purples and pinks and reds and bicolors, and then coming into some calibrachoas. Calibrachoas, of course, do really well in containers, hanging baskets. And then what is this? The cupcakes. This is the cupcake series of the portulaca. Nice, big, huge flowers on this. Major pollinator attractor and gorgeous, bold, bold colors on that. Speaking of bold colors and just a huge attractor to your pollinators, it's like, look at that. Okay, so we have a honeybee. I picked the plant up and she does not even care. So she's got her little honey in the air, going to all those flowers. A great attractor for your butterflies as well. This is one plant and they get nice and big, and as they grow, they hide their old blooms and give you new blooms. So sweet little honeybee does not even care that I am moving her plant around because it's got all sorts of delicious food for her and she is very happy. But those pentas get nice and big and beautiful blooms on them. If you're looking for a climber, because people do look for those, this is a great one. This is a new upside black coffee. But we cannot talk about summer color without hitting these phloxes right here. So this is the Luminary series of phlox from Proven Winners, and we've got 3 colors here. So you've got backlight in the back. I wonder if Cece did that on purpose. You know, backlight is in the back. So it is a pure white flower, nice height to it. So all of these Luminary series are paniculata phloxes, and I think you can understand why, because they have those nice big cone-shaped flowers on them. So you've got the white, you have got the ultraviolet, which is one of my favorites. And when folks come and see this, this is the one that they gravitate towards because it makes such a huge visual impact from a distance. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful plant. And if that's a little bit too bold, then opalescence might be the one for you. A nice, soft baby doll pink. The key that we have found with these phloxes is that they need to have consistent moisture. They're hardy in zones 3 to 8, full sun, but consistent moisture is definitely key for them. I would not say that these can handle a lot of drought, because once they hit drought, then they kind of go under stress and they can be susceptible just for problems. So consistently moist, not wet, but consistently moist. Now, let's see, Jerry, you stay right there because I want to show you an update. These are our summerific, this is one plant. This is the summerific hibiscus. This is evening rose. They are just starting to bloom. Okay, so come over here. They are just starting to bloom. We planted these plants, what, this time last year? Yeah, or even a little bit later? A little bit later maybe. Come over here because there's one blooming. And they have grown this is one plant, y'all. One plant. It gets obviously lots and lots of sun, but evening rose, look at that. Really beautiful pink, ruffled edges on the flowers that overlap. But again, this is one plant. One plant that was planted last year, a 3-gallon when we planted it. The only water this receives is what comes off the nursery, right? Off of here, boom, there you go. Then this is one of the easy escapes that we partnered with our friends over at Walter's Gardens. The Serendipity allium is currently in full bloom, and oh my gosh, you want to talk about a pollinator magnet. This plant right here is absolutely covered in honeybees. Love these plants. Alliums, of course, are they are onions. This Easyscape is one that is to resist deer, and so the Easyscapes are that plan where you get different seasons of interest, well, periods of interest throughout the growing season. And so beautiful transition, gorgeous grass. This is the Cheyenne Sky, which we're currently growing, I believe. We don't have any of that ready right now. Let's come over here because I'm going to show you an update on this flower bed that we planted, what, 6 weeks ago? Huh? Yeah, the Bermuda Beach, yes. So this bed has a lot of the new introductions for 2024 in here. So let's just go through real quick and give you an update. So this is the Supertunia Bermuda Beach. Bermuda Beach is not new, this is an improved version. Big, huge, bold colors on this, nice big flowers. So Bermuda Beach, doing great, as is the Truffula Pink Gumfrina, got a beautiful little ribbon of that. The Rockin' Deep Purple Salvia, which is behind me and goes all the way around. Again, I can't even count the number of honeybees that are on these plants. They are everywhere. The Suncredible Sunflowers, we got a little pocket right there. This is the new Cherry Drop Coleus. It is a trailing Coleus, so it does more trailing than upright. So there you go. Saffron Finch Petunia, the Pink Chenille. I always wanted to say it Pink Cashmere, but it's Chenille. Pink Chenille, Verbena, you can see as we wrap around here. The Scaevola I have been really impressed with, has done really, really well. And then I think the star though of this whole bed, in my opinion, is this new petunia. This is Hoopla Vivid Orchid. And oh my word, look at that. Is it not gorgeous? I just love, the reason I say it's the star of the show is because of how it has spread really well. It's nice and thick. It is covered in flowers. It is not sparse, that all the plants have grown together really, really nicely. And it is a beautiful plant. So super happy about this. And then the sweet potato vine. Don't ask me what the sweet potato vine is because I don't remember, but it's it's pretty. When it comes time for us to sell them, then I'll have the names for you. All right, we're gonna head over here to the shade because I am not gonna lie, it is July in the South and it's warm. Now I know y'all are gonna tell me, Jenny, you're not that hot. I'm in Texas, and I know I've heard about Texas. So all of our sweet friends in other parts of the country, I know you're sweltering and you're much hotter than we are. It's just that we've not been used to this. We've been spoiled this spring and it's not been that hot. So anyway, I digress. All right, we're standing over here at Unique Stone because a couple of things I want to give you some details about with Unique Stone. Unique Stone, we still have a very nice selection of our past orders. So we still have Unique Stone pieces available. So there's that. Our next order that is arriving will come in August. We have ordered a good number of things that are not already pre-sold. So we will have another beautiful inventory of Unique Stone sometime in August. Those of you that did special orders, yours are on there. And then our next order that we are currently taking special orders for will come mid-November. So for me, that's the perfect time because this will make great Christmas presents. So anybody that is interested in a special order of a Unique Stone piece, get those orders into us, or those requests is orders@gardeningwithcreekside.com. We will get you a quote. We will send you all the information. We can invoice you just via email, and we can get you all squared away. Another detail about Unique Stone, Jerry doesn't even know this yet. Unique Stone has discontinued the color Sienna Red. So, yes, poor thing. So Sienna Red they're no longer taking orders for that color. So just mark that off your list. You cannot get Sienna Red any longer. So you have the other 5 options. You have the, go through them right quick. You have the Aged Stone. You have, this is Ancient Age right here. Ancient Age. Then we have a light walnut and a dark walnut. Those are very hard to tell apart sometimes. And then the green. There's an amber green, I want to say. So this is the green. So this kind of gives you the idea. This is the Sienna Red that they have discontinued. So if you want a Sienna Red Fox, I've got one. Hurry up and get it because it's gonna be one of the last ones. But these make wonderful Christmas presents. So Unique Stone, you can get anything that from a container that weighs 3 pounds to a container that weighs 300 pounds. They have all sorts of fabulous products in a range of sizes and price ranges. So go to uniquestone.com. And when you email us, if you will please, this makes our life and communication much easier, send us the item number and the name. So if it's item number 61,000, send us 61,000 and it's, I'm making this up, the Derby Fox, right? That way we can tell you exactly how much it is. So Unique Stone available. We still have 2 beautiful Galloway urns. This is the dark walnut to give you a reference. And then this is the Ancient Age. if you watched our last video about when I planted up the Savannah urn, Jenny doesn't have a Galloway urn anywhere.
Oh, good grief.
So somebody told us, Jerry, that I need to accidentally chip one. So then it's like, oh darn. So I need to come out here with my little hammer and do a little chisel and chip it on the bottom so then Jenny gets a Galloway urn. But so fun. Bird baths, these are the Florentines. These are so popular. I have these, the birds love them and they actually use them. So wonderful on that. If you, my people over here, I still have some of you that have ordered, these are your pieces that you had ordered and you've paid for, but you haven't come and picked them up. So if this looks like your things, come get them. Otherwise they might end up in Jenny's garden somewhere. But yeah, so I got a couple of people that still need to come pick up their items. So come on, come see us. We'll help you plant them up. But everything here in the shade, I mean, I know I joke, but the shade is so much cooler. I want to come up here and let's talk about some shade hydrangeas because we've talked about a ton of the sun hydrangeas, but let's talk about shade hydrangeas because my gosh, this is certainly, if you have shade, this is where you want to spend your time, is in the shade these days. These are the new Invincibelle limettas. So Invincibelles, on the tag, it will say sun to part sun. If you're in the South, if you're warm like me, these cannot handle our full sun conditions. I have tried and they fry. They do really well in dappled sunlight like this, or some morning sun and then afternoon shade, or like a little bit of the afternoon, but it's really like a part sun for us. It cannot handle the full sun, but these bloom on new growth. So that means you're guaranteed flowers every single year, which I love. Invincibelle lime is going to be 3 to 5 feet tall and wide, and it is hardy in zones 3 to 9. This is a sport. This is a smooth hydrangea, native, beautiful. So these are great for your shade, part sun conditions. Those are all of those. Here we got one, somebody's blooming over here. We bring them all down like this so that they can get watered because this is the weekend. So when we bring the plants down like this, all the sprinklers can get them and they stay nice and happy. This is Let's Dance Arriba. So Let's Dance Arriba is going to be a beautiful, what we call a mop head, right? It's rounded. It is pH dependent as far as your color, so it can be pink or it can be blue, it can be in the purple. But the Arriba is going to be on the smaller side, only 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. It says sun to part shade. Again, here in the South, we find it does best in that half and half sun, not in full complete sun, hardy in zones 4 to 9. So the Arriba is just a beautiful plant that is really, it is a repeat bloomer, so it blooms on old growth and new growth. So even though maybe it would get fried in the late freeze, you still get blooms because it blooms also on new growth. So we've got that, and then we've got some beautiful, this is the Skyview, Let's Dance Skyview, still part of that whole series. The Skyview, you can see, has really pretty blue flowers. It is going to be dependent though, so it could go pink or blue depending on your soil. And the sizes on this, still the 2 to 3, hardy in zones 4 to 9. So lots of beautiful options as far as that goes. I'll give you an update right quick on this container. Look at this. This is the new Double Delight Apple Blossom Begonia that is going to be available next year. Look at those huge, massive blooms. There are 3 of the apple blossom in here, and they are very happy underneath this sprinkler right here. I have them paired with some of the pink Chablis Lamian, and they are just rocking out. They have a nice mounded trailing habit to them. So make a note next year, Double Delight Apple Blossom Begonia. They are beautiful. They are huge, beautiful, creamy white blooms, and on the back side, they are pink. Love this for sure. So there are lots of options, even though it is July and it is hot, you absolutely can still be planting in your garden. Yes, we're not going to be doing a ton of planting, but you can still do containers. We just did one the other day. If you remember, I put this beautiful Queen of Hearts in there. We have been, if you've been to the nursery, you'll remember that we've kind of been out of the Queen of Hearts and the Jack of Diamonds. This Brunnera is a beautiful shade perennial. It is more deer resistant than a hosta because they're very hairy and very textured to it. These things will get massive over time. The leaves just get even bigger. Beautiful silver overlay on top of that green, kind of that heart-shaped flower. They're going to be 16 to 18 inches tall. That includes the flower. In the spring, it does beautiful, pure blue flowers. That is just beautiful. Hardy in zones 3 to 8, and it gets nice and wide, anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 feet wide. Huge. For us, they are like a semi-evergreen. Mine stayed really beautiful and healthy green until we got, I think it was the Arctic blast. It killed all the foliage back, but then immediately it started coming right back. So a beautiful shade perennial that you're gonna want to add to your garden. It pairs beautifully. Look at that color contrast. This is the wild berry euchera. And so when you're picking those plants, think about color contrast. It is a fantastic, fantastic thing for sure. Am I missing anything? Just know that visit your local garden center. I know that people are talking about, but it's hot. Yeah, I know it's hot, but see, if you come to the garden center, even when it's hot, you can see what is blooming and thriving in the heat. Because just like people, some plants like it cold and some plants like it hot. Just like some people like it hot and some people like it cold. So when you visit your garden center and you see what is really flourishing in the heat, then those are the plants that you want to add to your garden so that when it is hot, you can look outside and you can see those plants just rocking and rolling and having their best life out in your garden. So when you visit at different times, you see those plants that are flourishing in your area during those different seasons of the year. So make sure you get out there and visit your local garden center. I know it's hot. Go early. Go early in the morning. Grab you a cup of coffee, an iced coffee. Don't worry about makeup. Put your hat on, put your shorts on and a t-shirt. Go for it. Get your list together. Go shopping and you're back home before the heat hits. There you go. Even if you're not like buying something, at least you can get an idea and make notes, and then when it kind of cools down, then you can get to it, right? So gardening is definitely a 12-season sport for most of us, at least here in the South it is, because we're not buried under snow for a ton of time. And so yeah, just get out there, have fun in your garden. The big things that we're concerned about right now as far as the gardening is weeding and watering. Those are your two biggest chores right now, weeding and watering. Make sure the plants are getting enough water and that you can keep those weeds under control. I think I've rambled on enough. Y'all have a great day. We love you. What was that? Oh, subscribe. Jerry's talking to me behind the camera. I'm like, talk, mister.
There's so many people.
There are so many of you sweet people who watch, like as the analytics tell us, who watch our videos but are not subscribed. So hit the subscribe button. And literally this week I have had people say, why are you no longer on YouTube? I never see your videos. We are here. We are here 5 days a week. Hit the subscribe button. That way, and then if you hit that little bell, it will turn on the notifications. So when we post, you'll get a little notification that says, hey, Gardening with Creekside just uploaded a video, you know, how to plant in the summertime. So that way you're notified when we post 5 days a week. But we are here, I promise. Subscribe to the channel. It is free. It costs you absolutely nothing. It just means that you are going to get notified about when we post our videos. So, all right. As always, thank you so much for Gardening with Creekside. We hope you have found this fun, informational, inspirational, somewhat kind of fun on this very warm day here in North Carolina. We appreciate you. We love you. Y'all have a great day. Bye, friends.